see what this looks like. I know in an earlier video I said I'd wait till tonight, but you know, it's almost night. It's night somewhere. So I am going to carefully unwrap this. Makes it easier to reuse this stuff, so suspense will be thrilling. While I'm doing this, I think this would be a good time for political commentary. Now, I'm not going to get into the left and the right. I'm not going to discuss what's happening on the college campuses. We all probably have our thoughts about that. I'm not going to talk about president. I'm not going to talk about local politics. What I'm going to talk about is something that this reminds me of. I mentioned when I was recurving this, you know, how much is your time worth? Well, think about this. If you buy a bow made from a person, made from a person, like myself or Mike Yancey or fellows on the West Coast that build those beautiful paddle bows and long bows, the bows that you buy were made with care, and they were made by people that really enjoy what they're doing. And so right off the bat, as artistic expression, you're getting artistic things with the mojo built in that can only come from somebody that loves their craft, that loves what they do. How's that political? Well, you may have realized by now that on YouTube there are videos about everything. And I'm not going to assault you with like a poorly played song, but I am going to bring music into it. If you're shopping for a guitar, if you're shopping for a tuba, if you're shopping for a mandolin, if you're shopping for a violin, you might notice that there are a lot of reviews, especially violins. We're testing the review of a $100 violin. My gosh, I found a violin set. I forget the name, I'm drawing a blank. Not a set, but a grouping of things that includes a violin, case, a bow, rosin of course, for $38. There are numerous reviews on YouTube of instruments that cost under $100. Now I'm not going to include Epiphone in this. You can get, you know, a nice guitar like a DR100 for $129, and Yamaha has a low cost entry-level guitar. Some of the other manufacturers do too. Maybe Fender. I'm excluding those because they have the capability of producing these things because of their manufacturing ability without imposing like slave labor on their employees. But let's think of this bow as it's being unwrapped. I have, believe it or not, $16 worth of wood into this. The cost of wood per board foot has gone way up. The rawhide, about $20. So right off the bat, I'm in at $36. You know, there's cost of materials, cost of time, cost of shipping and everything. And with a $69 guitar, you know, if it's decent quality, I'm not going to comment on that, or a $38 violin, what do you think those people are making per hour that are cranking those things out? Do you think that you're going to get an instrument, a device for your artistic expression that has the mojo of somebody that wasn't slaving over these things? I don't like that. I'd rather pay a fair price for something and know that the person that made it, crafted it, is being taken care of, and not in a way that includes putting suicide nets around the factories because the working conditions are so bad, people will jump to their death rather than working in that place. Of course, we don't want to include all pack rim companies into that because you can get Kentucky mandolins, my Washburn, what's his name, Scott Chow violins, other ones, my Carlo Lambretti. Those are shops, those aren't sweatshops, they're not factories, and they're actually from what I've seen, my vast research, supplying good working conditions for these crafts people, and they're not cranking them out one at a time, 20 hours a day. Anyway, I reached the end of my wrapping, and here it is. It's turned out so nice. No wrinkles, no air bubbles. The seam, or the edges, are nice, if you can see that, even along there. Same spacing on either side, same spacing of wood. Looks good there. Oh, it looks really good there. The rawhide went on pretty flawlessly. And now, I'm looking at this, I can almost envision putting this on. Once this wood is finished, it's going to deepen it up. A nice walnut stand can be the centerpiece of a room, aside from being like a good bow. I love the art of this. I read a comment on a bow video. One guy said, "We have a word for people that paint their bows in our language, women." I thought, okay, whatever. I am a bow painter, and I can just envision the Pacific Northwest raven motif or something else on here, and then the way they do their designs with the crescents and the three-legged things, I don't know the name of it. The, what do you call it? Oblong circle, an oblong circle. Design done in red, black, and white. Very traditional in the Pacific Northwest style. It's gonna be a nice bow. And I tell myself, this is gonna be mine, but you know, chances are I'm gonna sell it. I may or may not knock a little bit off the tips so they're not so pointed here, and do them not in my normal PD style of tips, but more of a tab-like tip, or else narrow in the beginning and then widening up a little bit. More of a Pacific Northwest tip style. But this is a beautiful bow. 66 inches tip to tip as it stands now. It'll probably be 64, 62 maybe, I don't know. Longer than the typical Pacific Northwest West Coasty paddle bows, but then again, I'm not claiming that this is a copy of a Hoopa or a Modoc or a Klamath or Haida or any other bow. This is mine. Nice. And thank you for sharing this. Wow, this sounds really granola. This journey with me as I progress through the construction and the painting and the finishing and the shooting of these bows. The shorter one is right there, out of your field of view. Rawhide worked out really well there too. Dark, side by side. I'll make note of this. This piece and this piece, side by side, so the thicknesses, they're book matched, they're bookmarked, joined at the center. This end was next to this end, this was next to here, this was next to here, so it has a consistent thickness throughout, you know, on both limbs. And I love this, how it's like a little lighter, then it gets dark. You're not going to see this lightning right here because the handle is going to be there. Handle wrap. Sweet. Can you see a raven on this thing? I love it. Good mojo. I was happy when I made this. Thank you for watching.